Goosebumps. I was sorting out the loft the other day, I seen some old Goosebumps books, and it immediately remembered just two things. Number one, there is a clear reason why I hated masks as a child, and still do to a degree at this point. And number two, that intro goes fucking hard. That immediately unlocked a lot of memories for you as well, like don't even lie about it. There are some episodes that just randomly come back to me every so often. None stick out more than the Haunted Mask episodes. And I imagine that goes for quite a lot of people. They were pretty fucked. So I decided to rewatch them, looking at them from a new lens. I'm not a kid anymore. Like, I'm a man. I'm not going to be terrified of a fucking mask. No, I'm not. You will be. And when I was looking up the episodes to rewatch, I realised two things. These were the first episodes by Goosebumps. Like, given the quality of the episodes and how much they stuck with me, I swear I thought these would have been like a later season episode. Turns out they opened the door with the Haunted Mask. And the second thing I learned, there's actually 2 more episodes in the following season which I didn't quite remember as well, but I've watched them and I'm here to talk about them. So let's just get into it. Let's talk about the Haunted Mask. I forgot they did this in the episodes, but they open up on R.L. Stine, and he sets the tone for us. He's in a creepy basement surrounded by masks, and he tells us,
"There is nothing more powerful than the love of her family and friends. What's so scary about that? You'll see."
It's a beautiful message. It's just a shame he's about to fucking terrify us for probably the rest of our lives.
Viewers beware, you're in for a scare.
We open up on Carly Beth. She is the main, and you probably have never forgotten her face given this episode. They're cutting about and they come across the new novelty shop. It's creepy, it's mysterious. Well, I say novelty shop. What's it called, Carly Beth?
Novelty shop.
She speaks slowly like it's giving the viewer time to read it, but if she just said it normally, it would have been less confusing.
Novelty shop.
You know, it's like she's saying the name like it's a foreign language that she's sounding out. Of course, the evil owner is there and he watches out through the windows and gives us a bit of a scare. We'll come on to him later on. Carly Beth and Sabrina, they continue going for pumpkins. Now, I'm just going to be straight up here. Sabrina's a cow. I know she's Carly Beth's friend, but Sabrina's a bit of a cow, and hear me out. It's very clearly established that Carly Beth is terrified of fucking everything.
Do you hear breathing?
And Sabrina, as her best friend, knows this. So when they're going for the creepy pumpkins, what does Sabrina do?
Somebody's out there. Somebody. Or something.
That was totally not funny.
I'm sorry.
An absolute bitch. And then what's worse, Steve and Chuck are hiding away in the pumpkin patch. Fucking who knows how long they were hiding there for. They give Carly Beth another big old scare. And Sabrina does fucking nothing. Like, she just stands around and waits. Like, she is the best friend you don't want. Do you know what I mean? But then she has the audacity to hit out with this.
You know I'd never hurt you.
Does she really know you'd never hurt her? Because so far, you're a bit of a dick. And then the boys tell us that they're pretending to be prowlers to scare her.
They pretended they were prowlers. That wasn't...
And I'll be honest, I don't quite know what a prowler is. You can't say that. Like, that's not... Oh, never mind. They're ready to commit a crime. Like, that's what prowler means. Fuck me, I thought I was remembering this all differently. That's fine. Good save. Carly Beth, she's stumbling through her words because she's letting us know she is terrified of being scared.
Carly Beth, come on.
Oh, I might be afraid sometimes, but I mean...
I'll give you one more shot at that if you want, Carly Beth. You fucked it. And then we cut back to the shop owner just watching them yet again, which I can only now wonder, why are they back at the shop? Like, they went away for pumpkins. Are they back at the shop, or is the shop moved? Is the owner now watching from his house? Like, who knows? He's creepy. He's watching them. It's a bit seedy. That's all you need to know. We get home and Carly's mum has made a paper mache version of her head. Why, I don't know. Like, I still can't work that out. Like, it's going to play a big part in the episode to come. But just think about that for a minute. If you came home and your parent or loved one had made you a paper mache bust of your head, for no reason, just like a mantelpiece, that's fucking weird. Like, put it in a studio, put it in a shed, put it in the loft, like, get it fucking out of sight. It's weird that she's just done it. The mum's made her a lovely duck costume to go trick-or-treating in. Carly Beth wants something a bit scarier, but she's got a fucking duck costume, which she didn't know about.
My duck costume?
So her mum's made this in secret, but she says it like Carly Beth knows.
You saw a duck at the mall, and you said you thought it might be fun to be a duck for Halloween. I made one for you.
Fuck knows, all you really need to take away from this is she doesn't want to be a fucking duck. Carly Beth does say that the head moved, we don't see it, but she's freaked out by it.
Carly Beth?
It smiled at me.
I watched this episode thinking that she was just being dramatic, And then it cut to it moving and smiling. Look, I know this is a super old, like, kids horror thing, but things like that just freak me out. Like, I didn't like seeing it here. And then she goes upstairs and her brother assaults her. Like, it's fun family times. Cut to school the next day and whoa, back. What the fuck is she eating? Like, is she eating black bread? Is that mouldy? Is it Halloween themed? Like, why is it both not black then? And also, have a closer look. I'll be honest, I looked at this a few times. It has a bite out of it already. So either her parents made it and thought the black bread looked so delicious that they couldn't help themselves to the first little nibble, or it's take two and the prop designers didn't have a second piece of black bread. Because she's opening that. Like, that's the first time she's biting it. We're here just to see the two pranksters, Chuck and Steve, terrorise Carly Beth. They come up with a fake apology, but secretly they're just slipping a worm into her sandwich to watch her eat. I know it's obviously fake, but even just the thought of that, like, makes me want to be sick. Like, move on. And then all the schools laugh away at her.
Carly Beth? Oh, it's the worm!
Like, everyone's in hilarity. Even the clown, which is no one else is dressed up, it's just a clown. It looks like the clown got pranked into being told that it's dress up day, yet Carly Beth is still the joke. And there's a person hanging in the background. Good school design. Carly Beth runs on home and she's too sad to read her friendship magazine. I would be too. Is she looking for tips for a new one? Because Sabrina's a fucking cow. She's mad, she's frustrated, she takes it out on the duck, which is probably for the best. Doesn't fit her anyway if it fits her brother. Like, fuck that duck. And now it's time for her to go to the shop and get her masks. So she counts up her pennies and her dollars. She's racking in $30. She's got the money.
$30, that should be enough.
I genuinely thought when I was watching this and she comes to the shop that, like, it would kill my hay fever. See, when you're watching a movie, people keep an eye out for realism, they keep an eye out for details. One thing that I'm constantly aware of is, like, really dusty rooms, and I just think if I would or wouldn't die in that room. I was thinking it, and then she goes and does this. Fucking die in that shop. Like, that's a death sentence for me. Fuck the masks. Like, I'm dying to the dust. So the owner's here, but the shop's shut. It was just an open door at the time, and he does not want her in. He said he'll do her a favour and let her buy something. So far, he seems like a good egg. What does Carly Beth do? So she then sneaks into the back. She's a cow. Like, she's walked into a closed shop, the man's done her a favour, and she still sneaks into her private area of the shop. So far, she deserves everything that's coming to her. Then we see it. We see the mask. And then all the masks look at us, so they're seeing things as well. And the visual effects leave a little bit to be desired, but the effect is still there. These masks are fucking alive. Now, the guy wants her out the back shop, and his first step to do that is to lock the door. Get a bit CD now, R.L. Stine. Like, it feels like you were going for a different message. Like, even she's terrified. She can't even say her name. She struggles to talk quite a lot in these episodes, I've noticed.
What is your name?
Carly Beth?
And I'm getting massive nonce vibes from this guy.
A nice face, Carly Beth.
She steals the mask. So she's clearly aware she is not allowed in here, but she steals a mask she's been told she can't buy, and then just throws money at the guy.
Here's your money!
What a cow! Like, number one, he done you a favour. You threw him $30. You don't even know how much it would potentially have been if it was on sale. Again, deserves everything that's coming to her. Like, everything. Fuck you, Carly Beth. Once we get home, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool getting that first person perspective. I forgot that was in it. Her brother comes along as a man spider now. I'm assuming the mum made it for Carly Beth and didn't fit her, so the brother's wearing it. Who knows? But the mask doesn't come off immediately at this point, and already something's a bit wrong. We're starting to get unsettled.
My mask, it won't come off.
Stop kidding around, Carly Beth.
I'm not kidding around.
Her voice has changed, and her brother calls that out.
Why don't you guess?
Shit's starting to go bad.
How'd you change your voice like that? That was the scariest part.
Like, the mask then even shrinks onto her, and it's subtle, but you can see it happen as well. Like, I can't remember that being an effect when I watched this when I was a kid, but seeing it again, great detail. Watching it now, it still freaked me out, the thought of that mask just shrinking on your face. We then just see Carly Beth being a bit of a cunt for a while. Like, not much else happens. She's just fucking about and fucking people's day up. She then finds two people she thinks are Chuck and Steve and wants to get revenge. She unmasks both of them, and that's when she realises they aren't Chuck and Steve. Surely after unmasking one, you've realised they're not going to be the pair. So just stop while you're behind, Carly Beth. Like, you're making it worse.
You're not chucking Steve.
She continues to terrorise people, like she just needs mental help at this point. The mask coming off would start, but she's fucked.
Yeah, I'm crazy, Loretta, I'm crazy!
Like, she's not doing well. Like, even Sabrina tries to talk to her and console her, so Sabrina's trying to win her back, because let's be honest, she started the episode off very much a bitch.
Looks so real. Where'd you get it?
Oh, it's me. It's who I used to be.
I personally wouldn't have brushed over that, Sabrina. I would have got my friends sectioned if they're saying shit like that. Like, you need to do better, please. Like, you need the Friendship magazine. So they go off trick-or-treating, and Sabrina is very understandably concerned. However, her concern isn't from her friend just suddenly turning into like an A-class bitch. It's more that the mask looks disturbing, creepy, and kind of looks like skin. Like, that's her main focus here. Not the fact she's terrorising kids. The mask is a bit weird.
I'm not gonna believe this, but it feels like real skin. I'm serious, it's gross. What's it made of? It isn't made of real skin, is it?
Carly Beth acts like a kid getting their iPad taken off them.
Said, but it's too weird for words. Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
And then cut to fucking credits. 1 down, 3 to go, episode 2. With a new episode, you only know what that means. We cut back to Carly Beth and we find out it was all just a prank.
Gotcha. Should have seen your face. It was.
Really? Like, just a prank? Like, it was pretty fucked. What's the prank? Like, you look insane. But anyway, we move. She just continues to be a total bitch. Like, it's not a prank. She's just a cow. And then she just takes off to go get more treats. Like, there's nothing stopping her at this point. Like, the mask has unlocked her true potential for just being a cow that wants sweets. We cut over to Steve and Chuck, and they're outside the cemetery having a time, sword fighting as pirates do, and then they fuck off inside the cemetery, because nothing's more creepy than going into a cemetery that's misty as fuck on Halloween. Once they're in the cemetery, we cut over to Carly Beth, and what's she up to? She's fucking shit up again. She's just fucking up the whole community at this point. I'm surprised the police haven't intervened with her. She is then on the hunt for Steve and Chuck, and how she finds them, I don't have a fucking clue. Whether she senses them or sniffed them out or something, that mask is giving her powers. And Steve and Chuck are playing around, and Steve just finds this, like, way too funny.
I don't see anything.
Real funny.
You do you, my man. You do you. Carly Beth finds them, she comes up to them, and she is here for revenge. Shit is about to go down. We learn that the boys like her. They open up truly. They're just bullying her in that way that they like her, so they're bullying her.
But we were just goofing around.
We only did it because we liked her.
It's no excuse.
Then the head starts to fucking talk.
Sorry again.
Help me.
I'm now watching this in my 30s, and it still creeps me out when that head talks.
Please help me.
I think it's more creepy that it doesn't quite look amazing, but it's still fucked. The boys book it, obviously. Like, I would be getting out of there as fast as I could if that paper mache head started asking for help. She biddies the head, and this is her bidding her old self.
Bye-bye, scaredy cat.
So the old Carly Beth is now gone, dead, and the new mask will reign supreme and probably fuck things up again. The grave just says bones. Like, it's just bones there. Like, I don't know who the prop department got for that, but surely if you're putting a grave down and making a fake name, bones is probably the worst you could choose. Sabrina and our main girl, Carly Beth, catch back up, so I don't know what Sabrina's been doing. She's just been fucking about. Again, worst friend. And they head back home. The mask will not come off. Sabrina's trying to help her. It ain't budging. What does Carly Beth do? She immediately goes to Van Gogh herself.
No.
She's going to town with a fucking knife.
That's too dangerous.
She can't see her own eyes. She starts screaming out, and that's still fucked all these years later.
His eyes in the mirror. What about them? They're not my eyes, Sabrina. My eyes don't look like that.
These are kids' shows, but I'm an adult now, and that still was weird and not pleasant and made me feel uncomfortable. She then goes out, she's panicking and they're scared away. She thinks it's the mask, it's probably the approach and the weird shit you're saying.
What are you supposed to be?
I'm supposed to be mean, but I'm not. I'm supposed to be mean, but I'm not. Come back. Please come back.
I know there's a message to this episode, But yeah, I think it's more than the mask that fucking done it here.
Come back!
She goes back to the old novelty shop, or what was it called?
Novelty shop.
Yeah, she goes back there. He cannot remove the mask as he tells her it's a real face.
I cannot remove that mask
Why not?
because it is not a mask. It is a real face.
Who gave this man a shop? He's cutting people's faces off and trying to make masks out of them. It's fucking weird, isn't it? Like, I always forgot that aspect. I thought this shop owner just had weird masks, but it turns out he's cutting people up and making masks. We learn that he is also wearing a mask. He's trying to cover up his own face and it's perishing, and that's why he looks the way he does. So if he's wearing a mask, there were 6 there originally and they're made from people. Has he killed 7 people? Is he like the original Voldemort? Like, why is this not talked about? Like, the show's going for the symbol of love and masks, but we've got a shop owner, turns up out the blue, who has murdered at least 7 people. We learn that this is removed with a symbol of love, so that is what Carly Beth needs to seek out.
Only you can. With a symbol of love.
She still doesn't quite know where the masks come from, even though he's made it abundantly clear where they came from and how he made them.
I was the man who created these faces, Carly Beth.
You made them? But why?
She's a bit slow. The masks start following her out the shop and she freaks out, she runs away, we book it back to the cemetery and she shows them a powerful symbol of love. She shows them her head again that she buried. She just shows the paper mache creepy head her mum made as the symbol of love.
This is Carly Beth. I am Carly Beth.
Still creepy though, isn't it? Like, it's still creepy she made that. I mean, I'm glad it worked for you, Carly Beth, and you're safe now and you're not looking hideous, but yeah, your mum is weird. She needs a hobby. She comes home, Noah freaks her out once again.
Carly Beth, please take that mask off. Please, Carly Beth, please. Take that mask off. I gotcha. Mom?
Her mum, though, is asking the important questions first.
Well, why didn't you wear your duck costume?
And then the brother puts it on, and then we cut to credits. So that sums up the first 2 episodes. They came out as a double-parter. They're following Carly Beth wearing the mask and coming to face her own demons and a clear paedophile that runs a novelty shop.
A nice face, Carly Beth.
I get the message is obviously the symbol of love, but that's not really what we got here. Like, she was a bit of a cow even before she wore the mask, and a scaredy cat. She then puts on the mask. The symbol of love allows her to take it off. I thought it was going to be about accepting who you are, but she still gets scared by Noah and hates the fact she got scared by it, and then goes to her mother for comfort. Nothing's really changed. She's still her. She's just not terrorising children anymore. Now we come into the second installment of the Haunted Mask stories. These came in season 2, kind of halfway through it, and they take on a wildly different story, so strap in. R.L. Stine opens once again. We learn that the shop owner is not here anymore.
This is the basement of the store where the haunted mask was made. It looks as if the mask maker left in a very big hurry.
Probably because he's a big nonce, but he's not here and that's all we need to know. Another new episode, you know what that means. Turn it up.
Praise the Lord.
We open back on Carly Beth and Sabrina. Sabrina's either changed her tune or Carly Beth has a low tolerance for friends because they're still kicking it together. We learn that her costume was the life of the party, being the 2-headed girl. And that fucking paper mache head thing is just not going anywhere, is it? She's worried about getting home on time and says her mum is going to have a fit.
It's after 10. We better hurry. My mom's gonna have a fit.
I don't quite think so. Given what happened last Halloween, she did not give a fuck. She didn't even know what was going on. I think you could stay out for a little while. However, turn of events, Carly Beth scares Chuck and Steve.
Oh man. Gotcha. Well.
They're back. The bad boys are back in town. Chuck and Steve, they want the mask that she used last year. They thought it was extra creepy. Within a year, they've clearly never found something weirder, and they are after it. They take the paper mache head and start fucking about. Fair play to you, Sabrina. You stand up here and you try to get it back. Credit to you. However, it's not paper mache anymore. It sounds like it's porcelain. Like, they've upped the game for this mask.
Come on.
You better not break that.
Don't give it to her.
When are you guys gonna grow up?
Steve.
Give it back.
So either the mum remade it because she loved the first one, or they kind of forgot that aspect, but we'll find out, we'll see. We learn that Carly Beth has buried the mask where nobody will ever find it. However, the mask itself now just gets itself out the ground and flies back to the shop owner, so you should have buried it a little deeper. Put a rock on it, you know, burn it, do something else. Now we get back to the shop, we see the old owner, he is just burning all of the old masks, well, cremating them. It's real skin, it's a real person, kind of. He's cremating his masks. Anyway, the OG mask comes back in and he puts up a fight, kind of.
I will stop you.
And now he is wearing the mask. So, yeah, this has definitely evolved. We went from one of the kids wearing it to now he is wearing the mask. They have upped the stakes for this. This has taken the steps a sequel would do, so credit to you, Goosebumps. Chuck and Steve, they just want to trick or treat in broad daylight because they ain't waiting until fucking night time. They're wanting the good sweets. And the shop owner finds them and directs them back to his novelty shop in the kind of nonce way.
Did you see that? Yeah. Didn't it kind of remind you of the mask Carly Beth had last year?
Yeah. Hey, mister! Where'd you get that mask?
Like, it's a bit flamboyant, isn't it?
Come on! All we want to know is where you got your mask!
If you've seen that, the police are being phoned. For sure, at least I'd hope you'd phone the police. And the shop, correct me if I'm wrong, it isn't the same shop anymore. Like, this is episode 1 shop, this is episode 2 shop. It looks run down, like it's been a year, but is it moved premises? Like, I don't think they kept the set the same, and they made no attempt to make it look the same. Chuck is not wanting any part of this. He is smarter than Steve. He realises shit's getting weird, and he knows stranger danger. Whereas Steve, he wants to find a back door, break in, and find a creepy fucking mask for Halloween.
It's the back door to the store. And it's open!
Well, look, they're closed for business. I gotta get home, get ready for tonight. You gotta get in your pirate stuff.
Oh, forget that stupid pirate junk!
He picks up a scary mask and out they go. We learn that Steve's mom is also making a Halloween costume.
This is gonna look adorable on Steve, don't you think so?
Like, is that all the mums do in this town? Like, every Halloween, they are crafting the Halloween costumes for their children. It seems to be the done thing. Steve is just a shitty kid. His mum's just coming in to be nice.
Yeah, well, you know, you're supposed to knock first.
I did.
Well, you're supposed to wait until I say come in.
It seems like he's worried his mum's going to find some crusty socks or something. He's just not having it.
Don't have any rights around here?
He isn't that into the pirate costume, he wants something scarier. He does not want to be a pirate all over again. He's done it and now he's going for the scares. And the mask we see's got spiders on it. That's fucked. I don't mind spiders, but on my face, the thought of that, I'm not into it, not a fan, even on a mask. Cut to Carly Beth, she's a duck this year round and a much better duck at that, so she's learned her lesson and her mum has clearly taken a few extra classes to be better at making costumes, because fuck me, this thing looks better. The shop owner, he's outside the window perving again. Like, he loves to watch kids. I'm just saying it. Do with that information what you will. I'm not putting any words in your mouth, but this man loves to watch children. Carly Beth and Sabrina, they're out trick-or-treating. They're having a fun time. They come across Chuck, though, who is in mafia mode, and I'm not gonna lie, he is killing it here.
Hey, look at Chuck.
I don't know this, Chuck. Is he, one of the 괱ᴏᴄɪᴜᴜ family?
Is he for like a kid actor just having some fun? This worked. This made me laugh.
What are you supposed to be?
A tough guy. Mafia. You know.
Steve takes the mask out and Sparky here. Yeah, Sparky knows something's up. Sparky ain't fucking around.
I'm gonna get changed over at Chuck's.
Sparky, what's the matter with you? What have you got in there?
Nothing, just my...
Steve gets that good old classic midnight curfew because his mum is fucking trusting or she's going to hit the bottle. Like, one of the two is going to happen here because midnight, that's fucking late for kids that look fairly young. This kid here, though, is just asking to be snatched.
Hey, over here.
Like, he needs to be taught the stranger danger that not many people know in this town, but he fucking needs it. If that's all it takes to entice him over, yeah, that kid's going to be on a milk carton one day. Steve meets up again with Chuck, who clearly wants to see the mask, but Steve just isn't showing him it straight away. But, you know, Chuck clearly wants to fucking see it.
Let me see it. Let me see it. Let me see it.
You want to see it?
His voice changes, and now, instead of being like a demon, he's like a grumpy old man.
It feels like skin. Dry old skin.
I know.
So is he just like an old man now? The first mask made you into like this demon that wanted to scare people, whereas Steve is just old.
It's my own voice, you jerk.
That mask came with COPD and needing an oxygen tank with you. Like, that's It's not that scary. He's even got that, like, back in my day sort of voice. So, you know, good on you, Steve. Good luck. Good luck trick-or-treating as an old, withering man.
Oh, thank you!
Steve calls out with him after he's getting his energy back.
I just feel so tired.
We're just getting started.
I just feel so tired all of a sudden. Just need energy.
Because clearly he's already fucking ran out. Like, fucking hell. Steve, you might be scary. Stop being an old man. We cut back to Carly Beth and Sabrina. They're just going door to door, and Sabrina's just getting shamed all over again.
One for the duck.
Thank you.
And one for the cat.
Tiger.
Oh, tiger.
I can see why she's a bit of a cow, because, like, nobody respects her clearly. But fucking hell, like, it's clear what she is. Chuck finds the girls, and after promising Steve to never tell anyone about the mask, he immediately tells them about the mask and everything that's going on tonight, because he's fucking scared. And yeah, he's keeping no secrets tonight.
He found this mask. This really creepy mask.
A mask? Where did he get it?
Steve is now here to just scare. He is full old man mode that hates kids and just eating pumpkins at doors. Like, he's... He's a force to be reckoned with, and a small breeze could probably blow him over, but you know what? Fucking watch out for him. Like, he has a fall.
I can't catch my breath.
Like, he's not just falling over, he's had a fall. Do you know what I mean? It's subtle, but there's a difference. And this Steve is a child, and he is now having a fall. It's rough to watch. Steve is in trouble, like major trouble. But he bounces back, because Steve is thirsty.
Oh, thirsty!
I also find myself getting thirsty in Halloween, weird enough. Different reasons, but you know, it's all the same. When he looks at himself, he gets scared of the spiders on the mask and it like molds onto his face. So that visual effect has came back and it's still fucked. And Steve stumbles into the worst two kids when trying to get help. But they're like so overly cautious to the point that they're not of any use whatsoever to him to help him.
What do you want?
Like at first they think he's just an old man, in which case, still help him. He's had a fall. He's thirsty. He needs your help. But when they realise it's Steve in a mask, they decide to help. However, when they see there's no line there, they fucking run. Like they're having no part in this.
That's not a mask, mister. That's your face.
Told you. The worst kids. They must be friends with season 1 Sabrina for sure. And then we cut to credits. So, story's going well so far. We've got Steve is now just old and the gang are out looking for him. And the creepy shop owner is looking for children as well. He's looking for Steve and Carly Beth and just watching them. I'm ready for part 2. Come on, it's the last episode, one last time. You know what to do. Turn up the music. We open up on Steve wanting help more and nobody's helping him. Like he is struggling bad right now. See with the first episodes had Carly Beth just struggling with like her own inner demons and wanting to be scary but it made her too scary. Steve's just an old fucking guy now. Like he's falling over, he's needing help and no one's talking to him.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
No, wait! No line!
The gang go back to the shop because they think that's where they'll either get answers or they'll get Steve. So they head on back. You know, just in time because Steve has yet another fall. Like that's twice now. Carly Beth explains the token of love managed to save her. So now we're looking for a token of love for Steve to get the mask off. You with me? It's a simple tale, but that's where we are. Somebody is in the shop, so the kids don't get too far.
I thought I saw something, a shadow or something. I don't see anything.
And then we come back to Steve and he's still just falling about and rolling about and he's getting old as fuck now. The shopkeeper's not here as they lurk around the basement thankfully. And old man Steve, he now meets up with the shopkeeper. The shopkeeper has one simple request. He wants the head of Carly Beth. The paper mache porcelain head, obviously, not the real head. It's Goosebumps after all. Like no one's getting decapitated here. Just falling over very hard and eating pumpkins. So the kids, they head on to Steve's house. They want to speak to the mom and just find out if he's home, which he's not. She thinks they're out with Chuck. And for some reason, Chuck is right beside the stairs. Like, why did you wait there? Like, you could have just been round the corner if you're trying to hide, you know? You almost blew your own cover there. Come on, my dude, you're meant to be a mafia guy. Be smarter than that. Steve's in trouble. And also almost getting his bus pass now. Like, I don't know how old he's meant to be, but fuck me, he's getting free travel. Steve, on the other hand, he heads to Carly Beth's house for that head. And when he knocks the door, the mum looks very suspicious of the door knocking. On Halloween, where kids are known to knock doors and speak to you. Where you also have sweets ready to give to said children. There should be no creepiness to someone knocking your door. It's the night for it. Steve just fully commits though. He just outright says he's an old man needing help and looking for some water.
Who are you?
Just an old man.
Are you hurt? Do you need an ambulance?
No. Just a glass of water.
That is a sneaky little ploy to get into the house. And I'll tell you, this man is putting all of his points into sneak because fuck me, Carly Beth's mum doesn't notice him. You know he went Khajiit. Like, there's no other explanation for that. Now the evil man, he wants Carly Beth, and it's still a bit sus, isn't it?
Carly Beth's mine.
But Steve holds back. Like, he is standing his ground.
No! And I'll hit you with spiders!
The head then breaks, because of course it does. It wasn't paper mache, it was porcelain, so it just shatters. Our gang just turn up upon the cemetery. This is coming to a big climax. They find the grave where Carly Beth buried the mask, and she just knows that it's escaped.
This is where I buried it. Oh, that's where you buried the mask? It's escaped.
Bit of a leap. Like, we don't know that it can do that. You don't know it can do that. For all you know, it's been dug up. You're in a cemetery. I would argue that a cemetery is probably the one area which has the highest dig up of ground rate ever. It's probably possible someone took it. However, I'm being facetious, she's right, it escaped. Steve's holding her in place, and I don't get, like, I know he's the sideman and he's the henchman here, but he's old as fuck. He can hardly stand up, and he's the one powerfully holding on to Carly Beth. Sure, she's trapped. The mask goes for Carly Beth and misses. Steve has protected her and saved the day, and the gang forget about Steve for like a solid minute while they look for Carly Beth.
Oh my gosh, Steve, are you okay?
They forget, not only does he exist, that he's saved the day. And then the shopkeeper's also just there somehow. Like, he put on the mask, but then we see that the mask has like dropped its cloaks and whatnot, so it's just the head. I don't know how he's there. He's getting a bit too creepy for my liking. You know, nothing to do with the fact that he's wearing somebody's face and he's killed 7 people as a minimum. It's just creepy he's always there, isn't it? Get him on a list. And we find out Love has saved the day again because Steve put himself in like jeopardy to help Carly Beth. It's a beautiful story all round. They come home, they're counting their sweets out. Steve still looks like he's just been to Nam, like he has got like trauma from tonight, which is fair enough. And they burn the masks. You'd think the mum would have a few questions for the burnt mask. Like it's rubber or skin, apparently. That's going to leave a smell, a stain, or something. They don't even fully burn. But the masks are back, shit is about to get real again, and then, no, it's fine. The good doggo saves the day. Like, that's what's came full circle. The dog has done it. Cut to R.L. Stine chewing the loudest sweets you've seen on television.
Good night, everyone.
And there we go. The Haunted Mask saga, if you will, is now over. Yeah, I had a lot of fun rewatching this. Like, I remembered moments from it. I remember being creeped out by certain things, but there was a lot I forgot. Don't get me wrong, the majority of that was cheesy beyond hell. But there were a few moments and a few effects that were still creepy, so when this was for kids, yeah, they leaned into horror a little bit more than I remember. But like, if you enjoyed this video, do let me know. And if there's any other, like, Ghostbusters, do you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was another one I watched. But if you like this sort of thing, let me know if there's anything else that I should watch or re-watch. I'd be more than happy to. And for any of you that have supported the channel so far, either liking, commenting, or that big subscribe, thank you so much. Listen, it's free to do. It really does make my day because it pushes the channel out more. Now that all that's covered, as always, thank you so much for watching.